whatever it is, right, at the end of the day, all you need to think of is to take that first step. Okay, there was once I was attending a seminar. There was it was all about overthinking, and that person, the speaker, told a small story. I would like to pick it up right now. He said there was a forest where a boy and his pet dog were walking, and then it was pitch dark, and they had to return back home. They didn't know what to do next. And then the boy said that dog, he said, I don't know how are we going to get back home. It's totally dark. And the dog said, see, you are thinking of the final output. Just think, can you take a first step? He said, yes. Then let's take the first step. We will get there eventually. That kind of, went deep dive within me that, you shouldn't be overthinking. Like I said, no matter how old you are, no matter what you're doing right now, no matter you're, going through many struggles or, be it anything, right? All you need to do is just start it. So you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great, right? So whatever it is, bring that, believe in yourself. Okay, as a woman, I think you need to believe in yourself. You will have struggles, you will have failures, you will have many things. Bring that all into your strengths, and I'm sure if you believe in yourself, at some point of time you will conquer. For them it's like, okay, you're doing your training in the morning and you're working, so it's anyway balanced only, but there are people only who are in the sport will actually kind of understand. See, when you have an intensive workout in the morning and then you come home and you have a critical review meeting to attend to, and you're like, fatigue is dropping, your muscles are like tired, you need some time to recover. But again, all that matters is, like, you need to have that passion towards work as well. I think work as well, I think my folks are also very supportive. They understand what my interest is. So I think it's all round robin, like be it at work or be it at home. But I would say family system is also very, very important for us. TTT is also something that we also want to do, because through the course of the states or through the course of my my progress into the cycling community, I think I kind of built good relationship with the female racers as well, like Abhi, Nandini, Vinoli and stuff like that. So we kind of saw good bonding. It's not about having a rivalry or hey, you are my competitor. That was never been the case with us. Obviously on the on the race day we are like we have our own goals to do, but once you finish, this is all I could do.
I am Baiki Vinky, and this is the Working Athlete Podcast. Here, I talk to working athletes from all walks of life and experts from various sports to provide you with inspiration, training tips, time management, and lifestyle advice. If this is something that interests you, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future episodes. Today's guest, Bindiya Surya, is a rider who started cycling in her early 30s during the pandemic in 2020. Within an year of starting to cycle, she represented her state, Tamilnadu, at the Indian Cycling Nationals. From not being able to ride even 5 kilometers without stopping for catching a breath, her journey to the Nationals in such a short span is inspirational. It is a testament to her living by the mantra, you don't have to be great to start, but you need to start to be great. In this episode, we talked about her journey so far, her goals and aspirations, and her support system that makes it all possible. Now, let us get into my conversation with Bindiya Surya. Welcome to the Working Athlete Podcast, Bindiya. It's a pleasure having you here.
Same here. The pleasure is always there. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast series. I think off late I've been watching all your series. I think it's very good to have such a platform. Thanks to you for bringing this up, because amateur cyclists or be it anyone who's wanting to look into the sport, people like me as well. So it kind of helps to understand what every athlete is going through and where they need to improvise themselves, right? So I think it's a very good platform. Thanks to you, and I'm really privileged to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, the idea is to provide that, share the journeys of the athletes, and so that everyone benefits from, we all are like sparks that light up the others, right? So that's the intent of the show. So, okay, Bindya, let us start by talking about what is work for you right now.
Sure. So I'm a HR by profession. I work in a leading software company called Freshworks in Chennai. So yeah, that's about my role. And to be more precise, to give you more context, I kind of I'm part of the talent acquisition team in Freshworks, and where I kind of fulfill the hiring needs for a particular business unit. So that's about my role.
Awesome, awesome. So, but how did the endurance journey begin? How did you kind of take part in any sports as a kid or anything like that?
Okay, so sports into my life, I would say yes or no, yes and no, both, because I need to recall back 15 years before, right? So I'm not like more of a sports person, Venki. So back then in school, probably, okay, I come from a very, orthodox, very overprotective, typical South Indian upbringing kind of parents I had. So always it was more of studies only. So, and my school also, like, they had all that exposure, but I wasn't allowed to do. So whenever I kind of had the time, I would just go up and play all that I could, right? Throw ball or anything, even shot put or whatever it is. I just go and try to participate, but haven't like totally picked up any one particular sport or got into coaching. I always wanted to like spend as much as time outside home, so that I kind of get all that knowledge or to be with the friends apparently. So, but I have two siblings, and my mom used to have them was in the same school. All of us are in the same school, DAV in Chennai. So they'll always be there monitoring like those gundas type, right? They'll be wondering what is she doing there, all of that. So eventually I got interested in basketball. So that's one sport that I could actually pick up. But again, it's back then in school, like 15 to 16 years before. So I kind of took up some formal coaching without the knowledge of my parents. But somehow when I had to pay for the coaching, I had to let them know, like, okay,
Yeah, of
so
course.
obviously I have to tell them. And then, but what I did was I smartly brought my brother also into it. So yeah, both of us used to play because he used to be in the 12th. I used to be in my 7th. Sixth, seventh ish. So I picked up, basketball, took some structured training there, and I used to take part in some school inter DAV meet, or I've actually went up to some district level. But again, like when it comes to sports, you need to travel. You had that kind of atmosphere also, which I wasn't having that back then. So I had to like just had to be within my limits of only within the area sort of a thing. Couldn't travel much. So it didn't take much of the sport to a next level. And then it was board exams, and you know how the typical parents would
Right,
be like.
yeah.
So it was all like, studies and stuff like that. And then in college also, like, I used to be the general secretary. So kind of, I want to make sure I'm in something or the other. But somewhere it's again, some kind of limits I used to have back then. But I mean, it's good to have anyway. I'm not like saying that it's not right. But again, I mean, being a girl child at home, that, the parents will have that, kind of a reason to hold their children to be that, to make sure that they are safe all the time and all of that. That's a typical parent's mindset, right? So in college, here and there, I used to play basketball. So I kind of got interest there. And then that's all. End of sports, right?
Right.
And never thought, it's almost like 15 years now. And then, but again, whenever we had the sports meet in, office or something, I used to just go there and see and come back. But never thought I should pick up something like, as part of my life. It's become part of my life. Cycling has become part of my life. So never thought this was possible, Venki. But it all just began in the lockdown, it was almost like 8 to 9 months of, lockdown, curfew, not going out. It was just sitting within the four walls and not knowing what to do, right? And as it's a joint family, okay, here. So best part is that my nephew, he's a energetic fellow, and all of us take turns to kind of engage him because he gets bored. He like, what next? What next? So myself and Surya, my husband, so both of us like are given weekends are our turn to take care of him. So that's where he always said, we'll have to go down. He wants to go out, but here we always lock him up in the house, right? So he said, let me, he had a cycle, which it had a 4-wheel apparently. So Surya, he just knocked off one, so made it 3. He said, today your task is to ride this,
Okay.
so that he gets
So the
more
training wheels.
training will start, and he kind of can learn the balancing part. So we have a, our community is very huge, so there's so much scope for us to like do running, jogging and cycling within. So we took him. It's very safe also. It's within our limits only. So we took him there, and just matter of 3-4 boys, right? 3-4 days, he's like picked up so much speed. So both of us are like very poor runners. We used to run behind him, like hold him, and all of that. But eventually, it was like horrible. We were like couldn't even match up his speed, and then we thought,
Couldn't
okay,
keep up. Yeah.
couldn't keep up. And then we thought, okay, what next? We already had a cycle at home. Actually, we had Surya used to ride on and off, so he's also like, he wants something to do. He always like ensure that he's also sport. I mean, he comes from a sports background precisely. He liked cycling, so he used to go with some group of our community folks. They used to like plan, and they used to go rides in the early morning, some endurance rides and stuff. Again, on and off, not like regularly. So he had a roadie, he had a hybrid Scott bikes at home.
Okay.
So we thought, okay, why don't we just take it and ride along with him? Because eventually this guy became a pro, and then he said, I have to go outside, main road. He always, I have to go to the main road. Then that's where Surya, myself, and Tavnish, my nephew, we just thought we'll just go. There's a industrial, it's called Sipcot Industrial Estate, which is 5 kilometers from home. So we just take him, all three of us. We just try to overprotective parents sort of.
Right.
We just take him there, 5 kilometers, as much as possible breaks we will take, 10 speed only. So we go there, we bring him back home, and then kind of for him it's like a picnic. So we just go take him again, have something, and then again come back home. Then eventually, see, we like working professionals as well. So it's very important for us also to take care of our, mental strength and, our well-being also, right? So Surya was just saying, okay, I think it's time. I'm going to start cycling, he said, because he already had one. So I was like, okay, sure, go ahead. I'm not a morning person. And now that it's working from home, so I kind of lost track of, waking up early. I just kind of go with my routine, waking up whenever I want to and stuff. So he said, I'm going to get up. And he's like, pakka, like all this alarm type. And he just went off for like 1 week, he kept doing. And then he says, Bindiya, there's a whole lot of, there's a different world outside. He said, there's a cycling community that people all decked up. They're like doing so many things. And I think we should try this. He kind of like spoke many things, his experience about some segments. We didn't know what segments and all, right? So he said, today I did a PR and all of that. I'm like, okay, I kind
On
of
Strava.
triggered on Strava.
Yeah.
And that kind of triggered interest. And then he talks many things. For me, it's like Greek and Latin anyway. Even now it is. But I'll be like, okay, there's something is there. We should try this. I said the next day I was up. He was sleeping. I said, let's go. And then he's like, what are you even doing? I'm all helmet and all. Okay. And then he said, hello, what is this? I said, like, let's go. I'll also come today. I'll take your hybrid and come. You use your Rudy. So we went there, and it was like, see, for my height, small is a proper geometry, but this was large. I was all ready, and it didn't, literally,
Because it
I didn't
is
know.
his
That was
cycle.
his. That's the only thing
Surya's.
we
Yeah.
had at home.
Yeah.
So we like took that. We went, and I thought, I can't cycling. What's a big deal? In school, hardly couple of. I mean, again back then school just 1 kilometer. What I will do with going in cycle and all. So I used to walk and go. Brothers will come and pick me up and go. What is the big deal? So I didn't have that kind of exposure. Also, going in main roads, nothing happened. I mean, it didn't kind of come my way. Also, it's like very closed routes that I had chosen all the time. So I thought, okay, let me just try an experiment. We started going like some 10-15 kilometers to begin with. We will have all bars, all that time Snickers we used to take and go, and bottles, 2 bottles, unnecessary 10 kilometers. We used to fill all 2 bottles, and water we had, we'll take and go. And then, but it was that time I realized I didn't have stamina at all. Because back then in school, while playing basketball, 5 to 10 rounds we could do, right? Running, the warm up and all. But now it's like, can't even do on 5 kilometers. I'm like, it's okay. Let me not take it into mind. I am doing this today. I am doing this. I'm happy I'm doing this today. But somehow I used to get shoulder pain. I don't know why I was getting that. I thought, okay, some evil forces trying me not to do what I want to. I will still do it. So next day again we started, doing it together, and then eventually we thought we will just pick this up and take it up as a routine, and that's how it all began.
Nice. So your nephew, and then then your husband Surya.
Yeah.
So both kind of got you into this momentum of cycling, I guess, right?
Yeah.
No, so from riding 10-15 kilometers and taking break every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, how did it progress from there to taking part in races and stuff like that? How did that progression happen?
Okay, so all this thing happened in November 2020. So eventually, seeing my interest into cycling, and again, I was getting all these back pain and stuff. Surya was kind of impressed on the interest I was showing. So he said, "Okay, it's time to upgrade. Let's go to Pro Bikers, and we'll just try to get some bike that fits your frame." So I kind of upgrade. I got a roadie again, and then
When was this?
this was in November end.
November
End.
2020.
Yeah, November 2020 end we got this.
Hmm.
That time we lived near Decathlon, so they used to organize this, some challenges. So you need to do 30, 50 or 600 kilometers. In that hybrid, I used to do. I signed off for 350. Surya signed off for 600. By
In a
time
month.
in a month, yeah. So
Right.
in case if you finish that, you can still upgrade and do the next level also, something like that. So I finished 350 in that in like probably some 2 weeks time, and I kind of finished by that. Before I could get my other roadie, I almost finished 600 kilometers in that taking breaks and doing all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, from 10 it became 20 and then 50 also. So we used to ride to Mahabs, which is the most happening place in the city, right, in
Right.
Chennai. So we used to go there. So and then it just got my roadie and then started off, and that transformation from hybrid to roadie, that always one happiness you get, right? Like, okay, something is
Immediately,
there.
there is,
There's
it's going a little faster.
and
It's
and
lighter.
it was called Speedster. The name itself kind of, wow, I'm a Speedster. So I always say, someone asks me, what bike do you have? Speedster. I don't know what it makes sense to them, but for me it's Speedster, and I am the Speedster. That's the only thing. But I will ride only 24 only. That is big deal. But still, I always feel like so proud that, okay, I have a road bike and that's a Speedster. So there are communities within our area. They call WCCG and stuff. So both of us used to go and ride to explore what people mindset looks like, and what exactly are they doing to understand, what is there in cycling, because we hardly know anything. It's just about riding. We thought it was fitness thing, something like that. So there it was a totally different other world. I think Kavi was talking in his podcast, like it's more of a picnic, right?
Right.
I could relate that here. It was just people we'll go together, and then they will take breaks, and then they will take selfie, and then again keep going. It was actually good only because I've been to places. I've been in Chennai for like quite some time, Venki, but they have taken me to destinations which I've not even seen, like
Yeah.
beaches.
So there will these guys, a lot of these groups,
Organizers.
organizers will make sure that there are routes that are safer, offbeat, off the main highways, and insides and interiors somewhat more scenic and all that, right?
Yeah.
So in our daily lives we don't even go to those routes and all that. So
Yeah.
obviously when they kind of organize these, and when you go there, we'll be like, wow, there is so much near the city that we can
Yeah.
explore.
So
Yeah.
every week they'll have a schedule. Monday, rest day, Tuesday, Wednesday. It kind of started getting repeated. That's why we thought, like, what are we doing? We've seen everything now, right? So, but somewhere Surya and I always thought about speed. Like, today we have to have this average speed. Today, next day, this speed. And then we never used to know about head unit or HR monitor, nothing. It's just Strava on the phone, put it in the front, then go. And for us, taking breaks eventually kind of, mattered to us, because we were kind of getting that into us. So whenever we take a break, then okay, then estimated time will be like too much. We should think of that. And then eventually segments also matter to us. We will just see every day, okay, what PRs are we doing? That was our more focus area eventually, and thought, okay, but going in groups gave us some good people, like-minded people, so many friendship out there. It was just going on and off. And then one day, I think Surya had some meeting in office. He went to office. It was Thursday, somewhere in December, first week. He called me and said, like, hey, Bindiya, I was just scrolling in Facebook. I'm like, you're at work? Okay. He's like, yeah, I just saw Facebook. There's one interesting news. There's a race. There's a race in Chennai, Bindiya. We didn't even know about race. I was like, race? Wow, what's that? He said, it's just a 25-kilometer segment. It looks like in the ECR, what we used to write, we used to take breaks and go, that route only. I'm like, hey, forget about that. Tell me about what it is. And he said, it's like individual time trial, they say. I don't know what it means. I think we should write individually in breaks. That's what the guidelines talk about. So I won't be there with you. It's like, you have to write by yourself.
Right.
I said, okay, we have Speedster. Let's try this and all. Then he said, hey, But for Surya, the only difference, both of us share the same passion. Okay, even he's also, in the HR world. Even I'm in the HR world. He also likes cycling, and I also like cycling. But our minds are sometimes our thought process are different. So he would say he's someone who's structured. We need to like be planned and ready for whatever we do, be it BRMs or be it your races. For me, only when we do we will know. Let's start. Let's start and let's see how we will
So
pick it
he
up.
was like, although it is there, we haven't prepared for it. We can
Yeah,
maybe
he
try
said
the next one and all.
exactly.
Then now you are like, okay, no, let's try this, and then we will know what to do next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said, I shouldn't have told you only. I have a meeting, then he just disconnected. But I was just complete thinking of it. We should try this. It's just 25 kilometers. Now that we are doing 50 kilometers, right? I think we should try this. I'm mentally preparing myself. And then somehow because of work, we kind of forgotten it. And then it was Saturday, I believe. Saturday was the ITT. So, but there was one note given that spot registrations are there. So that kind of hit me. Okay, even if Surya misses out, we can pull him and go on Saturday. We'll go and do it. Then Saturday, he's like saying, okay, today's my rest day. I said, no rest day. We are going there. Then see, we have to go. Let's go see what is only there. Let's go. It's nearby to our home. Let's see. First, we'll go there. We will see if they're taking up a registration thing. Second thing is, we will see if we are able to do it. Or else we'll come back home. Chuma, we'll ride and we'll come back home. We went there and at 5 things, usually 6 o'clock they start the evening. We're there at 5:30. And they were like, a different league. I'm like, where were these people? Everybody having like I said the other day, it was like people having road bikes with clip on, and then they had the TT bikes full, like typical suits. I'm like typical some random jersey and tights we were wearing, and they were all decked up. Then we thought, okay, there are pros also here. There's a racing community. There's a racing world out there. Okay, before even we look at them,
So
then
this was in December
December 12th.
2020.
December 12th. Yeah, 2020 it was. That was the first race in our life history. And so I said, okay, let's go home. I think this is enough for us. We'll go the other way. Let's not pick up this road. We'll go home. No, I said, no, it's okay. We've come this far. Let's register and see. If they see us and if they allow us to ride, then we will ride. It's okay. Let's go register. And there was the organizer. We just spoke to him. You won't believe, we asked a funny question to him. He asked like, so that time we knew about the segments, but we used to take breaks and only do in the segments, right? So we were asking him, can we take breaks, pause, and then can we ride? So that person looked us top to bottom and he said, this is like a segment. You have to ride completely without breaks, and then you will be monitored with the duration that you take. Oh, okay, so no breaks. Then Surya came and told me, he said, see, race is going to start. I've registered. Let's do it. All you need to keep in mind is this is a race. Don't take any breaks. Just finish it. I said, I'm already ready. Speedster. Come on, I'm going to do it. And then so I said, I will start first because anyway, I know I'm slow.
Are these the races that Kandis are organized? Or
This is the WCCG one.
Okay,
This is the
okay.
WCCG one. I think that was their first race for that season.
Oh,
That was
okay.
first race. They called RC1, which we knew later only that is RC1. We thought, okay, race. We don't even know what it is. So we went there and they said this is the start line. They had a start written on the road. This is the start. And for me, finishing, I need to know, right? So I'm already very particular on the U-turns, where exactly I need to take the U-turn. Or if it's a straight road, I need to know where exactly the finish line. He said, so yes, I'll be there. Don't worry. I'll anyway start behind you, but I will be there to receive you. You come, you finish with style. I'm like, okay, we'll start. Then I started, and first I went, and every time he crosses me, he will say, come on, you can do it. He will say, I will just give one look, keep quiet, I'm already struggling here. That even till date, I will give that look to him. But he will never lose on hope. He'll be like, every time he crosses, come on, you're killing it, come on. Then I'm like, okay. So I finished it. I saw Surya waiting there, full, his pink, like totally. This is the first exhaustive, stressful ride for both of us, right? So we finished, and then I don't know what I'm doing. I just stopped, and then I said, I finished. And my heart rate was like, I don't know, I was feeling so gasping and I don't know what to do. But you know what? I drank water. I could do multitasking because I can't even do that. I will
Right.
stop,
Yeah.
regular rates, I will stop, drink water, then happily keep it and then start and go. But Surya always tells me you should start multitasking because I'm not a person who comes with some road handling skill because I haven't done cycling before, I know car driving, but I never got an opportunity to like literally travel because that's when lockdown happened. I couldn't even go to work. Hardly 2 months I've gone, on car, and usually bike I used to travel. That's the only mode, but I'm very specific. Okay, like if it's bike, 40 speed only, 50 speed only max. If it's a MT, 50. If it's car, 80 maximum speed. If someone comes from far, I will put brake here itself. That's I'm a very poor rider, and so I'll be like, you have to improve on that. Okay, so coming back to the race thing, so I said like, but he said, see, without any bag, you did a very good job in there. That one thing I felt so happy. I've achieved something in
Yeah,
life.
you did not stop in
I didn't stop.
between. You
I
didn't.
drank
Yeah.
water.
So everything checked.
Yeah, and he asked me what speed you did. I said 28.8. He's like, wow, from 24 to 28. Wow, superb. I asked, what did you do? He said 32.7. I'm like, wow, 30. How come we can't even? Our maximum speed used to be 30, like maximum speed. But 32, you're like, for me, he looked like a pro. Pa, super. How can you do it? And then we used to have this membership on Strava, so we could see the leaderboard, right? That gave us the true color. So we're seeing, and then Adarsh hitting the KOM with 49.8 or something, and point 0.2. I don't know how come he missed that 50, but yeah. And then Abhirami hits. I didn't know who Abhirami and Adarsh were. I didn't even see them that day. And they said Abhirami hits 38.9. I'm like, oh, what is this? I thought I'm doing 28.8. She's 10 minutes more than, like, less than me. And I'm like wondering, oh shit, I was thinking I'm the pro, but there are better pros there. They kind of stuck both of us. And we felt like both of us, it was so relatable that we felt the same thing. Like, we should do something next, right? So, and then Surya only guided. Apparently he's my first mentor, I would say, because he always says like we should have a structured thing. He talks about head unit, computer and all, which never hit me back then. Then later I started telling him, that day you told no head unit, what is that? And what is cleat shoes? And he used to he used to say we should have this. We don't have any background, but somehow he does research and all. He says, there's something called cleat shoes, head unit, HR monitor and all is there. We should have all that to kind of track what we are doing. That's how we will improvise. So again, after that, I'm asking him, you told about that HR monitor, head unit. What is that? They say Garmin, Wahoo. What is all that? Now you ask me how many times I told you. Did it get into your head? I'm like, okay. First we'll get for you and then later for me. So that again, sports, I mean, especially cycling, it's an expensive sport, right?
It is.
Especially when both of us are into the same thing, gone. Total bankruptcy only, right? So again, eventually for the investment that we have made, we are forced to have that as a passion. Someone asked this I think couple of weeks back, a friend of Surya's asked, after a long time she had called and she asked like, how do you guys manage work and this thing? I think it's because of your passion. I said, yeah, obviously passion, because we have put our, not just our soul, but investment is done. Both of us have road bike, both of us have TD bikes now. So imagine the investment. It is our passion only. It is our passion because we have made that investment. So, but jokes apart,
committed.
Yeah, we're committed at least for the next few years, right? But jokes apart, I think you should have that interest in you, right, Venki? Only if you have that interest, I think that kind of, makes you go to the next level.
Right.
Both of us had that. Probably for me, it was a little slow because maybe I didn't have that background. So every time somebody has to tell me, hey, you should do this. So for me, I should not just practically listen, but practically implement it. So only then, because someone tells me, so many cadence or power or something, I don't relate to it at all. I will just write what I can write. That day this is what was possible, I did. So they say your cadence is very poor, you need to okay, sure, I go home, I just kind of go and check what is cadence. Okay, this is cadence. But Surya knows. But for me, if I talk to him, I need to be prepared because he will ask me questions. I'll be like, someone told me cadence, I'm weak, it seems, Pops. And he says, I've been telling you all this, we should have a cadence sensor and all. I'm like, yeah, I think you told, no, we should have. Then we got one, and for him, we just tried to test what does that even matter to us. And then he kind of said, see, listen, Bindiya, I'm going to make a very serious talk. Let's do a structured training. It's going to help us. Are you going to pick up cycling for the next few months or years? I said, I don't know, but definitely I like this sport. With your guidance, I think I can still try it. Always, I'm the person who says, no, let's not do this. It's okay. This is enough for us. This is enough. But this time, somewhere after that race, after checking, there's something that we could do. We could improvise. So I told him, okay, let's give it a try. But for me, I said, like, I don't know much or something. He said, you leave it to me.
You mean to say whenever there is some serious investment involved, that is where you say you are the one who says no, because otherwise you are the one who was saying yes to the race and all that,
Otherwise, I
right?
will
Yeah,
say, but when it comes to investment, I'll be like, it's two of us. So I
right.
will say, let's do it for you,
Mm.
because I feel you are more, potential. Because for me, I need that handling skills even more. But for you, you already get it handy. He used to be a motor racer back then in college days. So
Oh, okay.
he's a fantastic car racer. For me, if normal ride getting dropped in office also, he will do like one racing only. So for me, I've always seen him like that on the top. So he does multitasking. He will do all that phone handling, everything. For me, I'll be like panicking. Keep your phone down. Hey, 80, 100, don't want 100. Come down, 80, 80. That's how we have to make. That's how I used to be like. So when he said we need to have a structured training, I said, okay, I know again there's an investment there, right? So, but again, okay, let's see what it is. Let's give it a try. If we fail, it's okay. If what we will just start with the process, and then that's how we kind of met Mike and Arvind, and we kind of enrolled with AAA coaching in Chennai. So they also helped us really well, from a starter to from a beginner to this level. They kind of that journey. They were there along with us throughout with us, right from getting a head unit or that. These were basics, right? So that's where kind of the structured training happened, and then eventually we kind of picked up what was required for this competitive racing world, and that's how it started. But even now it's like a dream for me. I can't even believe that we have done this so far in a short time, but somewhere this is how it started off. And
Nice.
yeah.
So, your first race, going to that first race and taking part in that, kind of you can say that cemented you into the cycling world, because that the adrenaline that you got there, I think made sure that you are not leaving cycling anytime soon. And from then on, how did you kind of end up in like state selections and stuff like that? How did that happen?
Sure. So once we started off with the local races, that was our aim. Okay, we should do this. This is what is my goal, is what we were thinking, and we're just going with it. So I think, like you said, Candy Master used to have MRC. So every second and fourth week are race days in Chennai. The second week will be WCCG race, and then fourth week will be Candy Masters MRC racing.
Right.
So this was our December, Jan. This is how it went. So almost 4 races we have done, and we could see some progress. Uh, and then one day we were just having a casual ride with our coach, and then we just stopped at a juice shop, and then he said they were discussing with other few athletes, saying, "Hey, there's a states thing coming up," and they were like just enrolling themselves in a application thing. So Surya and I were kind of like wondering what is this, and I kind of probed more into asking what is this. They said because of COVID, the 2020 championship, the states trials moved to this 2021, and it's likely to happen in a week's time, is what they said. They asked what is the eligibility, is there any criteria? He said no, it's like for women it's like an elite category, and for men he was just briefing me all of that. He said you will have ITT day one, day two road race and stuff like that, and he was just briefing all of that. Then somewhere again that idea struck. Okay, why not? Let's try. I looked at Surya. Let's try this. Then he said, "We aren't prepared." That look, that face he gave. I said, "It's okay. Let's start. Let's register." Okay, like that day we did. They said, "Are you gonna say? Are you gonna leave me?" Okay, go talk to him. Then we asked like, Mike, can we just try this? But he was also very receiving. He said, "Yeah, sure, why not? You can try. If you are ready, let's do it." But only 1 week time, no? So not much of preparation, nothing. So just random races we have done, and structure training just began. Not even like base training. Nothing has happened. It just began slowly.
Right.
But he said, "Okay, if you want to do it, you try Bindiya. Just go for it." And he kind of helped us with meeting people, getting the application form, submitting, and all of that. We didn't have much time to plan also, because we had to travel also to that particular location. So we went there. First they said it was Trichy, so we went there, and again a couple of things happened, and then they kind of moved the place to Trichandur. So that was like again, didn't expect that to happen at all. I mean, I wasn't prepared, because for me local races were my point of goal, but states just to try.
Hmm.
And when I went there, I saw, I was competing with, there were a bunch of women athletes out there with different ages. We were all put together to ride in one ITT, and I wasn't exposed to the TT bus. I was just smug style thing.
Right.
But back then I didn't know what that thing was. I was just riding what was told. I was just doing it, but I had my cleats thing done. So I was just doing it up front. It was a 30-kilometer ITT. I did that, and then although I was told, I didn't think about what my results were. Okay, so once I finished my race, I thought, I it was a different environment altogether, right? So you had it was a very narrow road. I kind of fell taking up a U-turn when I was doing my warm-ups. I kind of, my knees were gone. I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? But still I thought, okay, let me just try it. But when I was ready, they kept postponing. They said 2 hours later, and we kept waiting. We didn't know if we need to eat or something. So I wasn't having proper, food that day also. But I was mentally prepared. Okay, I just need to finish this. That's all. I was having all the race jitters for sure. Anybody will have. And then once I finished, I felt like, too many things that I encountered. They were, they said the roads will be blocked. For me, like I said, I'm not exposed to roads.
Right.
It was a totally different, new place. I was feeling so new. I was feeling lost in my mind. But all I thought was, this is my bike. I need to do this. I need to do this. I have to finish this. I have to finish this. This is what kept going into my mind. And it was like almost some 12:30, 1 o'clock in the noon, and it was down south. It was super hot, super hot, and almost exhaustive. And then you had cows crossing by, you had buses crossing by, stopping, and then 10 to 15 speed breakers. Speed breaker, though I will always stop, right? So by this time it was a race. I had to like go on it, bump, bump, bump. And I somewhere saw that U-turn person also was there, and somewhere they weren't ready, so they thought someone is coming. I think they expected someone in the TT bus or TT style positioning, but I was just happily coming. They thought someone is riding randomly. They didn't even know. They weren't ready. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm already very bad in taking U-turn. I already had an experience, right? So somehow they were again had to stop and then take a U-turn, wait for them, and then somehow I thought, okay, 15 done. Next 15, go for it, go for it. You can do it. Go for it, go for it. And then somehow I just finished. And then, but somewhere I felt like, Surya was right. You didn't prepare much. I felt like, okay, he already told me, but I felt happy because I tried this, because I got that exposure. I kind of, like I always told you, I don't go with someone who tells me what to do. I have to feel that. So when everybody said that, especially when Surya said you have to practice, you need that training to attempt something, that kind of struck me. So I thought, okay.
Now that you have experienced it, that you felt that on the by finishing the race, that okay, you could have done better if you prepared well. Then it kind of registered in your mind that you had to do that.
Truly, yeah. Because
but this 30-kilometer race, how what was your average?
I think I did some 31.
Okay,
31
so from
something.
28 to 31 it came down to.
That I felt happy.
Maybe in a month or so, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
December, this was Feb, so almost 2 months.
Okay, right.
But for me, it was very super, super exhaustive, and it was not unexpected one what I felt. And I thought racing is not just about just having that grit, but I think you should also have other aspects of handling, presence of mind when something comes in front of you, and all of that just kept pondering me within me. And I thought, okay, it's very important that I should have all of these. And so that's when I thought, okay, my next goal will be states, right? I will aim for it. So I kept asking, Surya and Mike that, when is the next thing? And so they also we have very transparent discussions with, with Mike, I mean, my coach back then. So he kind of, said, okay, if this is the goal, let's have a structured training, because we still had some 6 months for for the actual one for 2021 states to happen. So that was my aim back then. So I kind of, started off, practicing for that. But But to my, I don't know if I was unfortunate or fortunate, we had the lockdown again. So curfew, not even to go outside.
Right.
So
The
that kind,
April was
yeah,
like really bad. Yeah.
yeah, in
The
2021,
second wave.
the second wave happened and we didn't know what to do. And I thought that's where I was in the peak of so much of interest, and I thought I should definitely improve myself. And but again, next investment, trainer, right? So we thought, let's do indoor stuff. And so Surya also said, let's do indoors, let's train indoors. And so we got a trainer, we started, like, doing indoors. But somewhere I got used to this racing every bi-weekly, and I thought, okay, I was missing on that. But somewhere I kind of checked, like, what are the indoor races we have, because I got to know there is RGT, there is Zwift and all. And then Mike and their team said that, we have this ISRT tandoori race and all, we should try this. I'm like, yes, Friday, so every Fridays will be that tandoori race and stuff. And then different categories will have different time slots. So our all of our team mates who were, I mean, our AAA enrolled folks will do it from their homes. So everybody will be enrolled and they'll be waiting, and I'll be like, so I can see Surya, right? So he will see me, right, obviously. So sometime my race will be first, so he will be like pushing me, go, and then when his turn comes, I'll be like, go. But I think that was very interesting to do. Those were short ones and very nice. I used to like that
Yeah.
races. That's how, TMC also we did once. And it was a good. I used to ride with Jasleen and a few other folks also. We don't know them, but somehow because of this virtual races, I kind of knew that, there are so many folks out there who have dedicated their lives for this. This is another world. Then Surya said, "See, you decide what you want, indoor or outdoor. You have a goal. You think through it." I said, "See, stay at 6 months is there. Okay,
Yeah.
this is just short duration. Let's explore.
Yeah.
We need to keep ourselves engaged, right?"
During
So
the lockdown, that's the only avenue we had, right? Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
I've also done 3 hour ITT also I've done.
Mm.
And then Everesting also happened during the lockdown only. And there's, I think there's,
Virtual Everesting, huh?
yeah, virtual Everesting also.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. From doing short races is one thing, but then virtual Everesting would mean that you have to climb what 8,800 meters indoors. That takes forever, even outdoors. So
Yeah.
how was that experience?
So elevation is never my type at all. I think it was one day again we were just having a con call with our folks, and then so Mike was saying there's something called virtual Everesting. So someone who does 8488 meters of climb, they get a Licol jersey. It's like a fantastic jersey. For me, I ignored the 8848 meters elevation. I just saw, okay, Licol jersey is there. That's a super one. I kind of browsed through what that jersey is all about. And then I told Surya, Pops, let's do this. No, it's like we're getting a jersey. I'm like, jersey, you want to die for, how much time it will take. So I didn't know that calculation as usual. So he told me, see, this takes 15 hours on the bike. So, but see, you have to take breaks in between, you have to eat, all of that. But one single activity, that is the important thing. Hey, let's try, let's do it. He said, see, we aren't prepared again, okay? Just don't start your drama again. I said, again, we had just 2-3 days to decide.
Hmm.
And obviously, when it's going to be something like like a typical event, we need to prepare that nutritioning has to be planned and all. My mom-in-law is very supportive. I went and told her, we have this event, Atta, we need to do this. We plan to do it indoor only, and we'll do it together so that we don't get bored and all. My mom felt, wow, this is. Then I told Hall of Fame, our name will be recorded. Future, we can go see all like that. And then Surya was, Amma, we aren't prepared yet. She's chumma wantedly talking to you. I said, Arthur, please, let's do this. Please, you have to tell him. And then she said, both of you are doing it. No, forget about the nutrition part. I will cook and give you. You guys do this. You tell me how many ever people are coming. I will manage with it. Then Surya had a big face. He said, like, oh, what are we going to do? It's elevation, Bindiya, elevation. I said, don't bring it. I hate elevation, Venki. Whenever Chennai is supposed to be a flat road. We have like a very small bump here and there in the ECR. That itself, you will struggle.
The
Think
flyover
of it.
types.
Flyover types, or think of it. Are you sure it is completely RD Swift? Come on, think. Sure, please. Just 2 days to go. Let us first plan the setup. Let's invite them, other folks also to come. So let's be ready. And then my mom was supported. We had all of the stuff ready. She said, we told her this time we need breakfast, this time we need lunch. And she said, leave it to me. I'll bring it correct out, pakka time and all. And then we started and but somewhere, like I was actually interested. I was so excited to do it. We started off at I think 5 o'clock. We started in the morning, and then it just started. And starting is always good, only. So we started 1 hour. We watched all of us watched a movie, and then 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. We had breakfast. We took breaks and all, and then it just happened. It became evening, and then we still continued to do it. Actually, I was given the base camp. I mean, half thing only because I didn't complete the entire climb because my cleats weren't cooperative. I had my legs swollen. Only then I realized I was wearing a shoe size which is lesser than what I'm supposed to be wearing.
Oh, okay.
So my size, I was wearing like I think 2 sizes lesser than that, so I couldn't even move. So it was swollen.
2 sizes lesser, and then even with long workout, over a prolonged period of time, legs tend to kind of expand and swollen and all that, so it will become even tighter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering. Whenever I used to go for a 50 kilometers ride, I used to feel so. My legs were. It used to be like this when I just remove my shoes. So I'd be wondering. I thought this is the process. Everybody is going through this process. So I didn't know. I didn't know that I should have told that I'm having a. I kept telling that, but I didn't get a proper size shoe in Chennai. We tried to source many online, but we didn't get for my size. Maybe mine was a wider one. We couldn't get the right one. I'm still searching, by the way.
Right.
So
Some companies like Northwave does, Shimano does, some of these brands have wider range of shoes. Not every brand has a wider range. Some actually are quite narrow. Like
Right.
CD are quite narrow. I don't know if they have wider range, but they are quite narrow. I have used CD to begin with. Once you go to wider range in the in some brands they offer, you will feel the difference.
Yeah.
Legs being comfortable, you
Almost
being
6.
able to push properly and all
Yeah.
that. It'll definitely make a difference.
Almost 6 to 7 months. I think I was using the same shoes, and the Everesting thing kind of because I had the legs to do it. I still have some. I finished some 7,115 meters. Just matter of 1,000 more.
Right.
I knew I had that energy, and I had the like we had time also to do it, but somewhere it was I couldn't do it. I had to like really force myself, and then at one point of time Mike and Surya said it's enough. Okay, enough.
Yeah.
You can please get down.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
From doing what maybe 70 meters to 7,000 meters, it is a lot of it's a big jump, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I stopped. I still regret that why I stopped that, but somewhere I felt that was required that moment. It took almost some 2-3 hours to accept that I have stopped the ride because I was like, let me try. I will take a break. I will still go try. But they said, enough. We will stop your ride. It's okay. We will save your ride. You will still get the jersey. Don't worry. That's what you want, right? See, jersey is second, but I had this in my subconscious mind. I have to do it. I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. So, but then that moment when we finished, and all of our folks finished, I was the only one who didn't complete. So that was one thing which was bothering. But again, I knew it was only because of, at least I kind of, something hit my mind. Okay, when something is not right, that was the reason I couldn't do. So I had to bring that into me really strong. And then I think in a matter of some 2-3 weeks, I got a Shimano, like a size higher one. That was a relief. I know that also is not my shoe size, but that was all I got that
Right.
point of time. But probably, like you rightly said, the correct shoes will kind of help you render the exact power. But I'm sure I will get, before my the actual big race that I'm looking up to, I'm sure I will get there, get one new shoe. But that after 6 to 7 months of struggle, when I wore the next one, it kind of gave me a big relief. I could feel myself comfortable, right? So that was something that I kind of
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you ended up with half Everesting in
Yeah.
the
But I did
virtual thing.
7,100.
7,100.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah, definitely commendable. Half Everesting is if you have done like
Mm,
4,450 or something, that is enough. But you went
yeah.
3,000 more almost. So that's
Yeah.
good. And then, how did the 2021 states elections go for you?
Okay. So I think it was in October end. It was planned, but somehow I think it got pushed to November first week or something. So apparently, most of the other states folks had time from the states to the nationals. I think we were the only ones who had it in a very neck to neck moment. But again, we were all prepared. I think as athletes, you should be open at any point of time. You just need to be ready. So, like I said, when the previous state trials happened, so although I was eligible for nationals, but I thought I should have that, enough training required and enough mindset to be there. So I think that's what the 6 months of training that kind of I was focusing into, right? So all I wanted to do is just be part of the ITT because that's what my strength is. So I was focusing on that because they said only top two can, actually get enrolled in the nationals representing, the ITT races. So that was all I had in mind. And again, in the process, I kind of took up all whatever races that happened. And then lockdown was, it was lifted. I think it was relaxed and we could also have races outside and stuff. And I think the experience was like very, I mean, it was a very quick one to happen because 6 months immediately getting into national states was a big deal for me. But I was definitely focused on that. So the day had come, and obviously with jitters, and you had a different set of people over there, and somehow I think they kept changing on the kilometers for the women category. So I was kind of confused what exactly it was, but somehow I kind of managed with it. It was a again untimed one, 12, 12, 30 months. I think that's how the women allied category would
No,
begin, I think.
almost all the races at this level, like
Mm.
state level and nationals, the schedule, it is not usually they start with some time and they end up postponing, moving
Mm.
those races around because lot of logistical issues for them, like especially at nats they end up with so many people, so many races and so many categories and stuff like that, right? So they e- eventually end up inevitably end up being moved around from even from day to day, not
Mm.
just within the day from getting delayed. So they some events get pushed over to the next
Oh.
one and all that. So I actually have immense respect to all the people who race at nationals and state level because you train hard, you are physically prepared and mentally kind of there, but then there are so many dynamics that you have to play with,
Mm.
right? What time is that going to start? And then how are you going to time your warm up? How are you going to time your nutrition and stuff? It is really very dynamic. So I have huge respect for all the folks who
Yeah.
actually get there and deal with all these variables and end up doing well. So yeah.
Yeah, like you said, I already had an experience, so I was prepared for the narrow roads. This is also it was in Coimbatore this time for us, and uh, as usual, I was all like ready. Okay, I knew this time what am I going to see? Last time it was cow, and this time it's going to be dogs or something. Okay, whatever it is, I'm ready. So the only thing was we didn't have much time to do a recce on the route. We couldn't even go there because of many other reasons. Maybe we were, we again there was some confusions happening and all of that. So we didn't have much time to kind of do a recce. So it's on the spot. And again, for like you said, warm up is also very important. But I mean, it was so quick. So, see, they said your category will take some time, but suddenly they called off my name. They kept saying twice. I'm like, oh, is that my bib number? They kind of calling my name. I'm like, oh yeah. So immediately I didn't have much enough warm up. Also, I was like already panicking, wondering what's going on. because of the changes in the kilometers and stuff. They were reducing it, in fact, which is good. But again, we are mentally prepared for this, right? So suddenly they say you will ride for 20 or 15 or 25. They're kind of just moving it, and but I was anyways prepared to do it. But the course was I don't know how to tell you, right? It was a rolling thing, but it was totally like deep, and then suddenly it goes up, and the gradient were like sometime it was also 7. But I was like wondering, how am I going to tackle elevation again? No way. But again, this is what you have aimed for. This is what you have put in all your efforts. That's what kept running in my mind. And this is the day, do or die. Just give your best. It's a matter of just 25 to 30 minutes that you're going to suffer. But imagine, you're going to rest after that. So just go for it. Just go for it is what I had in mind. And it's and then I finished. I was very happy because that was the first ever race where I gassed out. I was all low. I didn't know what I was. I had people helping me like that. Then I thought, okay, I've done my race well. I felt very happy about the output. But later on, I was just wondering, am I in the top two? That was the only one, because you have Nandini, you have Vinoli, you have Abhi. Obviously we know she's going to be the first. So that was kind of like the palpitation thing was like getting higher. They kind of told us only in the evening that Abhi and Bindiya will be there in the ITT. That was like a super proud moment for me, because that's what I was aiming for, and that happened. And I had goosebumps. I went and told my mom-in-law. I kept telling Surya, like, I know this happened. And all my close well-wishers who were there kind of told me this has happened. Everybody was super happy that, oh, Bindiya, uh, I mean, from nowhere to now here. So that's been my journey, right?
Right.
Like, because someone who have not even had anything, who's not got any background from even riding a bicycle on the road, someone who's actually got who's come second in the state trials, with competing with larger racing community folks who've been in the industry for quite some time as well.
All in the matter of less than a year.
Yeah, so all in a matter of less than a year. But I mean, that was a very beautiful moment for me. So, but all I had planned was only states, right? I wasn't ready for nationals, but
Hmm.
just hardly 2 more weeks for nationals. I'm like, okay, next nationals.
So
So
before we go there, what was so it like 25 kilometer, or how much was it
it was
eventually?
15 to 17, I think.
Okay, so what was the speed you managed there?
Speed was some 34,
Okay, so
less only.
with those kind of elevations and
Yeah.
speed bumps and all that, you can't really hit 40s on such courses, but there is constant improvement from 28, 31, and 34, stuff like that, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that is what is most important, that you see that progression, you see that there are that intermediate goals and the big goals that you keep hitting, right? So your big goal was to make the top two for states, and you have done it, and kind of qualified for nationals within a few months of starting and riding 5 kilometers and stopping, 5 kilometers and stopping, catching breath, and drinking water or whatever. From there to being at the start line of nationals, that is a huge jump in such a short time. So how was the experience of the nationals itself?
Nationals, like I said, it was hardly some 3 weeks post the state trials. So this time, I thought, okay, I just need to like just experiment, just expose myself to the events at nationals, and just try to observe and learn, because my goal was states, that's all. So but in 2 3 weeks, what else can I do? It's all about the race day that matters. But just go with your structured training and just give it all you have. That's what was in my mind. So we had that time was less for us to just plan our travel and all of that. So Surya kind of took that piece, because we had to plan our work as
It
well.
was in
November.
Kurukshetra, right?
Yeah, in Kurukshetra.
Hmm.
So it was in Kurukshetra, so we had to plan at least a couple of days before the event could start, right? So that was how we planned, and we went there. The Again, it was a different league again, seeing people do the recce, and we I think we were the first day when we went there to kind of see how the race course looked like. So we saw like people going in bunches, and they were like so easily they were going and all of that. And for me, I was actually wondering, okay, that will be my next. So I know this is, I've come this far, but that will be my next step. I think I will get there is what I was having in my mind. But today, what am I going to do? So next 3 days are going to be back-to-back races for me. I'm there in the ITT. I'm going to be part of the TTT. On and the road race as well. So I just need to be mentally prepared, and I should have that enough stamina to do all these 3 races. So I kind of discussed with Surya and my coach, and said that I want to try all the 3 races no matter what. They said like, see, you will be able to, but I think your focus ITT. Give it all you can. TTT is also something that we also want to do, because through the course of the states, or through the course of my my progress into the cycling community, I think I kind of built good relationship with the female racers as well, like Abhi, Nandini, Vinoli and stuff like that. So we kind of saw a good bonding. It's not about having a rivalry, or hey, you are my competitor. That was never been the case with us. Obviously on the on the race day, we are like we have our own goals to do, but once you finish, this is all I could do. See,
Right.
you maybe you have that course was good for you. Maybe you had a better skill set to handle it. Maybe I didn't know. So it was all like, either of us, I think Nandini and me are very closer, like, and Abhi as well. I think Abhi initiated that we should all, tie up together for the team trial, which was a best. For me, I was waiting for this opportunity, because I've never, have an opportunity to ride with the women folks in Chennai. At least to have that, from a race training perspective, I didn't have any riders along.
Right.
All I could ride is with the men folks with my team. So so I think I said like, yes, I want to do this team trial. It's okay. And then somehow, but again, I didn't have enough time to practice with the team. But we were all kind of wondering, okay, Hubby will take care. Hubby will tell us what to do. We will do. So that's how it was. And so ITT, it was day one. So we finished with the ITT. Again, it was a rolling terrain. It was hard for me. Somewhere, seeing too many people out there was kind of overwhelming for me. And am I even ready? That kind of thoughts were coming into me. So I kind of again believed in myself. I said, hey, you have done your practice well. You do what you can do. Forget about the result. You, at the end of the day, it's not like you should think, okay, I should have done better, I should have done this, I should have gone more aero, or I should have done this when a headwind is attacking me. So just do what you have, and just do whatever comes in your way. Just go for it. And for me, I have done, I mean, even while at the virtual Everesting, I've never had cramps, okay? I've done even 3 hours ITT, never had this cramp, but somewhere I think I was feeling so pressure and stressed. I think I got cramp in the last 7 kilometers of my, which has never happened. So I had to pedal almost in only one leg, and I'm not used to it also. Again, Suya kept always telling me, see, you have to practice it. He'll say, leave one hand and ride. He will, while we are returning back home after our regular rides, he will say, okay, I'm going to give you a task. Leave one hand and ride. It should be your left hand. I'm like, I'm comfortable left. Why should I leave my left? I will leave my right hand. You have to do what you can't do, Bindiya. He always tells me that. But I used to like practice, and he says, likewise, remove your left leg cleat and do practicing with that. He used to tell me all that, but I never used to do. So he'd be like, see, I told you. But he was coming behind as on the motor thing, right? So he used to say, go, 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 go. I'm like, I'm having cramps here, don't push me. I'm shouting. He thought I was saying like, he had to motivate me more. That's what I was meaning. He kept shouting, go Bindiya, go, almost few more kilometers to go. I'm like, I'm already struggling here. I'm having cramps. I'm not able to ride. Totally, it is just, I could feel the curl on my left leg. I couldn't do anything. But I knew it was just hardly another 7 kilometers to do. So I just, I didn't know what I could do. I just tried myself, just finished the race. And I mean, I couldn't even get up after that. It was like totally curled off. My calf muscle got curled. I didn't know what to do. And then I was just stretching. And then, but I know I did well. No regrets on what my performance was all about. I know I did well. But somewhere I felt I should do better. I should plan. I should train myself better next time when I get there. So that hit me. It told me like, hey, next nationals, you have. This is my goal next. So that will be my next goal. Like every race, I kind of pick up something, right? So that this is what I was thinking. But nationals, we still have time. So next day, TTT is there, right?
Right.
So let's focus on that. So we all stay together in the same hotel. So Abhi, myself, Nandini, we kind of do some strategy working, some notice board thing and all. We did this is how we will start. This is how we will do. If someone gets stopped, this is what we need to do. All that strategy work. Now we were just planning up, and then. I think we did our best. I think we did a very good average, and we thought we were doing good. We thought we will also have something like a podium finish or something, but nevertheless, I think we were seventh in the team trial, but that's fine. I think we did a good work together, good
Right.
teamwork, and
The four
because
of you,
yeah, the four of us. So
Vinoli, you, Nandini, and Avi. Yeah.
yeah, it was a
Excellent.
good show altogether. But again, there also, right? Like while we were waiting, I mean, our turn was basically the bib number, whatever they say, right? So they were like, this is the one group which had married women, or with age. They were saying age is as a thing. See, come on, that can't be a thing to be told, right? So age actually matters, but I think as an athlete, age or be it an individual, there's nothing that you need to be worried about. No matter how old you are, all you need to do is just believe in yourself. You can conquer. So people said, in different languages, saying this is the only team that has maybe, okay, we are the elder gang, so what, we will still do it. So that kind of hit us, but I know we did good, but somewhere people have that. Okay, this is, I don't know if it was a compliment or something, but somewhere I personally felt like, so what's the big deal? Okay, so age is there, but we should. It's all about what you have within, what you are aiming
No,
for.
I guess they were coming from a place where they were appreciative of the fact that, despite various backgrounds, despite being, married and, over few, whatever, 30, 35, whatever, that these girls are putting themselves out there and doing what no one else in similar
Age
profile
group.
have done before. I think they are coming from that, kind of appreciative place. Maybe they were not communicating in a way that
Yeah.
kind of made, put that across in the right way. But I think that is where they are coming from. Because last year in, I think, 2020 nationals, right, when Abhi
Mm,
was on the podium on at nationals, that was a big thing, and everyone was
yeah.
very appreciative of that fact, and that kind of, I think, was the message that they were trying to communicate. But
Probably
yeah,
yes.
you girls went there and gave your best, worked together and gave your best and came seven. But maybe definitely better days are ahead. I would think, when you all work together. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Awesome. So that, again, I see a trend here, right? From being, uh, being at your first race, jumping ahead and doing it, and uh, getting picking a goal from there, again the next one that you want to aim for, and then going ahead and taking part in your first state selections, and realizing, okay, there is something here that I need to, okay, for next states I need to, aim for this. And then you did that, and you got there to the nationals, and then you, having experienced that, you said, okay, this is my next goal, that I need to do well here, right? There is a constant trend of you putting yourself in position of where you are really out of place, but trying to, with your hard work and effort and planning, trying to get there to the that level, right? It's really it's really a great spirit to have, and a right mentality to approach growth and improvement. I think you are on right track there.
Thank you, Enki.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So that is your next goal would be the nationals. How is it going with preparations and everything?
Yeah, so like I said, that will be my next step, right? I mean, that's a bigger picture that I would aim for. So yeah, so right now I'm like I said, so I'm actually partnering with Naveen John. So got enrolled with What Bombs coaching and it just began. So
Hmm.
looking forward to a solid
Nice,
one.
nice. Yeah, when it comes to the best coaching guidance for nationals or beyond, there is no one better than Naveen John.
Yeah,
He is the guy. So you are in the right hands, and I am sure you will see the difference this year. Excellent,
definitely.
excellent. So, with this journey, right? It is obviously there is. There are many people, it is not just one man or one woman show, as to although cycling or individual time trial is obviously you have to be there and
Mm,
do your thing. There are so many things that you need to fall in place. There are people, your support system, everything has to be there to kind of give you that support. So what is that support system for you?
true. Like, they say, right? So if behind every successful man there is a woman, so behind every successful woman, especially a married woman, there is a support system. And for me, it's my family. All right. Like I think all through this while we've been talking about my husband. So Surya has been my, support all through the time. So apart from that, right, like my mom-in-law, she's the one. I mean, we've seen so many cases where post marriage, or they have like a typical role to play, right? Like you have multiple facets of role to play. Like if you're a working woman, you have a working thing to take care of your your home, your family, the couple of other phases that a woman should deal with. But when you have something like a sports as a passion as well, and you're a working woman as well, so to balance the two is the key. So when I say balancing, I think I've not been in that level, but at least I've tried to manage myself balancing both, all because of my mom-in-law and her support, right? Because right from it could be a food, I mean, cooking obviously matters, right? Because you're working from home as well, you need someone to help. So she's all that she says, see, you have a passion, you've told me that this is your passion. I'm there for you, right? Just go ahead. Don't have this as a curfew saying like what will people think. So I always have used to have this, okay, like see, people will think, oh, in this age people will retire and you want to do cycling now. I'm in my early 30s now, right? So they would think of that. And people will think in a different way. See, you're married for 6 years and you need to have a family, you need to take care of all of that. I have had such questions, people asking me as well. So at the end of the all that comes into my mind. But again, what is at the end of the, what is my goal, what is that I like to do? So be it my job also, right? I think that's something that I actually love to do. So when someone asks me how do you balance these two stuff, I think it's all about you should have that love and passion to do something. That's where things come. Like, so that's why my mom will say, see, you, I can see that passion in you, I can see that interest you have. So just go for it, okay? I think Surya is there to help you through, and I can support as much as possible. I can give you an example. So when I got my speedster, it was actually like like I said, it was in November end. I got my thing. So December, no, I think in Jan we went for the first service,
Hmm.
okay, to Pro Bike, because we just Surya dropped us. So my mom-in-law was just checking out all the cycles hung over there, and then she said, she was asking Suresh like, this color, this red black is very nice, what is this cycle? Then he said, this is a performance bike, ma'am. And then she asked, oh, what is a performance bike? Then he said, this is a racing bike, okay. Then I said, Atta, man, quiet, it's okay, I know what's her next move, okay. I knew because she's like that only. I said, Atta, we have come for service, speedster is hanging there, service is going on. Wait. Then she asked, okay, how much is that black bike? how much is this bike? Both are performance bike only, Then he said, no, that is endurance bike, ma'am. The other one, there were two Scott, I think one is Scott Foil, another one, another brand is what they showed. So she said, this is more powerful, I feel. Right? She said, the foil is very nice. How much all that? Then she got all the details. Okay, pack this. We don't want speedster, you keep it. I'm like, Atta, let's talk to Surya once. No, please, let's not take a drastic move. I still haven't committed myself to cycling. Hey, today morning only you told, right? This is what you want. You are planning to do. You said you have done one race and all. No, you're taking the cycle. You are riding this, no matter what. You have to ride this. And apparently that was my size as well. It was small frame, and somehow even I had that interest because it was red black and so fancy, and it's the name foil looks so much appealing to me. And then Suresh was already like one, he's totally an influential person. He said, yes ma, this is a bike, I can see the spark in Bindiya. She will go to the next level, and he kind of also persuaded her, and both of them started talking about my next progress. And I'm like,
Suresh is awesome.
you know him, right? That's why my mom and I said, okay, Suresh, this is the one. Let's park it. Please tell me what's the final value. You take this vehicle. You take off that bike. You give me this, and then she called. I said, Atta, you talk to Surya. I am not talking to him. And then she called Surya and she said, hey, Surya, come. We need to bill, okay. That's what she said. She cut off. Again he called, Amma, billing illa. This is service. Service is happening. No, Surya, I've got a new bike for Bindiya. Then he's panicking there, and he's like, he just came. He said, I'm in a meeting, ma, I'll come in sometime. And he came. He asked, what's happening? Okay, he looked at me, and I just bent down. I didn't even look at him. My mom said, see, this is a bike I'm getting for Bindiya. Nice, no? She will ride. I know she will ride. Then I was like, not me, Atta. And then Surya was like, I have a addict, ma. Minus endurance bike, ma, for her performance bike. Then like, hey, it's red black, da. She can ride. I know she can do. Speedster, I told they can keep it. I am taking this bike. And then he's like, I have come to give service and you're making me buy a new bike. And then he didn't say anything. He said like, you like it? Amma likes it. Let's get it. And then we got it, and I was so happy. Than speedster, my liking towards I think you should also love your bike, right?
Yeah.
That's very important, right? So when I got this, I'm like so happy to ride every day morning. I'm like ready. I want to ride like that. That was so motivating for me. This is an example that I gave you for my support system,
Yeah.
right? She knows when I need to get the best. So she says, I know you're progressing. You take this. See, it is your effort. Plus, the machine also needs to be supportive.
Right.
So you take this. I'm sure this will give you a good thing. And that's how it kind of. I mean, right from a 28, and then in this bike also. I think obviously, although you have a fancy bike, you have to ride to get there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
So I started with 32, and then 34, 35, and 36, and this has been my progress in the bike as well. So I think not just that, she kind of understands when things need to be given, and I think that's a support system I would see at home. That's a wonderful thing to have. I'm so fortunate that I have a beautiful support system, be it my mom-in-law or be it my husband. And likewise work also, right? Like work is something that I also enjoy doing it. So I need to give. I mean, I work in a company where they give you all the freedom to do whatever you want at the work.
Right.
So obviously, when gives you a freedom to do, that's the culture in Freshworks. Okay, like you can actually do whatever you want to do. So obviously, when a role is given to me, so I would be accountable of what it is. So I kind of give all that extra stuff to do to get that work done. So obviously, you have extended working hours. So I know people. I mean, people like me, like athletes, they train in the morning, but again they work. So for them it's like, okay, you're doing your training in the morning and you're working, so it's anyway balanced only, but there are people only who are in the sport will actually kind of understand. See, when you have an intensive workout in the morning and then you come home and you have a critical review meeting to attend to, and you're like, fatigue is dropping, your muscles are like tired, you need some time to recover, but again, all that matters is, like you need to have that passion towards work as well. I think work as well, I think my folks are also very supportive. They understand what my interest is. So I think it's all round robin, like be it at work or be it at home. But I would say family system is also very, very important for us,
definitely,
for a athlete.
definitely it is. It plays a big role, right? Yeah. And like you said, working out in the morning and having your training workout done, and then getting ready for work, and be giving your 100% there. And you'll have roles at family that you need to take care of, however supportive they are. With all this, what are the things that you do to kind of make sure that you are recovered well, and you're making sure you are ensuring that you're recovering well for your next workout and all that? What do you?
God only knows how I'm doing it. Like I said, balancing is very important for any working professional who also, have a sport as a passion. Although I say I have a support system, I think that kind of relaxes my half of the burden, because when when my momula says I'll take care of the cooking part, so all I need to do is just focus on my workout and my work. So like I said, I'm just trying to manage with it. I know there are days where I'm really struggling, but somewhere I feel it's because only with the passion that I have, okay, I need to do this. This is my work. This is given to me. I'm accountable to it. I need to do it. So it could be a long stretched working hours also sometimes. And next day, you know that you're going to have a very hard workout. So I kind of plan myself. I know when am I structured, like say, for example, Thursdays are my review meetings at work. So I kind of, plan it accordingly. I have an open discussion with my coach saying, hey, this Thursdays are kind of my, work specific days, and so he would tell me, like, he would plan my workouts in that way, so that
Right.
I kind of have a easy workout that day, or very mild one or something like that. So that's kind of helped me very well.
Yeah.
And recovery as such, like if you ask me, I'm not on a diet. Okay, but again, at the end of the day, I should also have that enough, that supplements that I'm taking should actually add value to me for what kind of workout I do. So like I said, I would tell my mom-in-law, like my coach has advised me to have this much of carbs and this much of proteins. Then she tells me, okay, carbs, okay, leave it to me. And the next day, she'd prepare all that stuff, whatever has carbs, and then she brings in, the protein factor. She'll say, whenever she serves, she'll say, here carbs, here proteins. This stuff she will serve. So she'll say you have to think of it. Only when you
Right.
think, it gets into your body.
Right.
So Surya is very specific about food. So he'll be like, I don't want this. I don't want this brown rice and all. What is this? He will say. But Momala will start her classes. She'll say, see, you're an athlete. You have to eat this. This is very healthy. See, Bindiya's eating. You also have to eat. So like that. But I think she's a major support, Venki.
Yeah.
I think she understands. I mean, my nephew, he can he does surfing, he does skating. He's a champ in himself, and she takes care of his his supplements, because he does all three in one day. So every day he goes for practice and training.
Wow.
So his is all the more for him. He needs to have enough stamina to to tackle a sea sport, and to do a road sport, or even cycling. So he does everything like professional. So she takes care of his supplements and hours also. So I think she herself is actually a natural person who kind of understands this, because when I say I couldn't do this today, then she would say, I think this went wrong. So she would pick it up from there. I don't know how she understands that language, right? It would be like a Greek and Latin for her, but she doesn't. I said, today was so much of headwinds, I couldn't perform my workout today. You should have done this, you should have picked this route. I'm like, how do you even know all of this, right? I think she's one of my best inspiration, I would say, because I think without Surya and my mom, I don't think this would have happened, because
Right.
it should gel. Everything should happen. See, your interest, your personal potential, plus the support system. I think it's all gel together. So only when all of this support system is, and again, see, I might have the support system, I might have everything, but someone should be there to encourage and say, you get this. Someone should also invest, right? So Surya is also important there. So it's all like, and again, Surya will, I always think of his development, but he will think of my development always. He'll say,
Right.
I think you need to have this. He's still now sourcing for my shoes. He's been trying to get, I know I'm having comfortable shoe, but still it is not my correct one. So he's still sourcing, and he talks to people. I'm like, I will get it. He's like, how, without sourcing, how will we get chumma? We'll get. So he
Yeah.
will do all that work in the back end, and he will ensure that I have everything. Like, we kind of wanted to get a TD bike for me, because I was thinking that's my next goal. I need to have that machine also. So everywhere he kind of puts his time and efforts there. So who does this for you? When you have such support system, that also gives that motivation to do, okay, you have someone pushing you through. You have someone putting all that effort. So you need to do something for them in return. I think that's what actually makes it all the more very strategic for me. I need to do this because I have someone supporting me, so I need to do this for sure for them. So that's how it has been like.
Awesome, awesome. It's been fantastic chat, Bindiya. So to kind of conclude the session, what are some of the tips you would give, women and working athletes to do well at sport and work and life?
Okay, like I said, I am also managing through. I think it's very important. Like I just wish that everybody is fortunate to have a very well supportive system. But again, whatever it is, right? At the end of the day, all you need to think of is to take that first step. Okay, there was once I was, attending a seminar. There was, it was all about overthinking, and that person, the speaker, told a small story. I would like to pick it up right now. He said there was a forest where a boy and his pet dog were walking, and then it was pitch dark, and they had to return back home. They didn't know what to do next. And then the boy said that dog, he said, I don't know how are we going to get back home. It's totally dark. And the dog said, see, you are thinking of the final output. Just think, can you take a first step? He said, yes. Then let's take the first step. We will get there eventually. That kind of went deep dive within me that, you shouldn't be overthinking. Like I said, no matter how old you are, no matter what you're doing right now, no matter you're, going through many struggles or, be it anything, right? All you need to do is just start it. So you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great, right? So whatever it is, bring that, believe in yourself. Okay, as a woman, I think you need to believe in yourself. You will have struggles, you will have failures, you will have many things. Bring that all into your strengths, and I'm sure if you believe in yourself, at some point of time you will conquer, right? It's all about that efforts and that focus that actually matters, right? So and again, having said that, be the one whom like be the game changer. Like whatever change you wanted to bring in, just bring that. I think you can be that modem to kind of bring that up, right? Go out, try as much as possible what you want to do, be it a sport. It's okay if you fail. I'm sure you will get there. So that's how you need to keep attempting, again and again, because not that everybody will pick up a sport in a day. It just takes a journey, right? So take that first step. I'm sure we will get there eventually. And again, as a woman, you need to be independent also. Although you say that we need to have a support system and everything, but I think you need to be independent. You should be able to buy your own stuff. Like they say, a girl should be able to buy her own diamonds. So I think that's what I could relate. So you should be there to to get your own stuff. And again, no matter what it is, believe in yourself, and somewhere or someone or the other is looking up to you as a inspiration, right? So everybody is unique and everybody have the potential in them. So all that matters is just start the first step and keep going, and I'm sure they will conquer. And that's the essence of any woman, I would say.
Awesome, awesome. It's been fantastic. And that is very, very important that you need to take that first step. And you don't have to be great to start,
Start.
but you have to start to be great. Awesome, pearls of wisdom there. And thank you for being on the podcast to share your journey and your experiences with the audience, and wish you all the very best for all your future goals.
Thank you so much. Like I said, it was a pleasure having interaction with you. Like I said, it feels so good to be meeting you in person, to have this, to share my journey. I don't know if it's going to be inspiring someone, but somewhere I think, everybody have that potential and we should just give our best. And thank you for being this eye opener and, having me in your show. And thank you so much, Venki. It was great.
It is a pleasure.
Thank you.
That was my conversation with Bindiya. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are enjoying these podcasts and are finding them useful, please consider supporting the podcast by subscribing to the channel on YouTube. It really helps. Thanks again for your continuous support. See you next week with another guest.